Everyone. It's been a while since we've done a lunch bite session, and just recently I was talking to a friend in business from Queensland, and we were talking about all the social media kind of thing that's going on and how that's changed over the last 12 to 18 months. Marketing in particular has significantly changed, but I want to introduce you to Rachel from the Dirty Apron. Hi, Rachel. Do you want to give us a little bit of background about how you came to work with us at the Business of Food and basically what it is your skill set is?
Ooh, that's going to be a hard one. What's my skill set? No.
It's so diverse.
I guess, Jane, I don't even know how long we've known each other for now. It's about 5 years, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Something, yeah, like that.
Yeah. So I'm based in Cairns in far north Queensland, and no, I'm not sitting by the pool sipping margaritas every day. I'd like to be, but not today. Up here in far north Queensland, I think we're very similar to a lot of smaller regional towns where we have a lot of food producers and farmers here that have first and secondary products that they would like to have as a value-added product and wanting to get them out to market. So rewinding back to how I got into working with those kind of clients was originally I set up Cairns' first and only cooking school going back 7 years ago. Am I a chef? No. Did I think that I could open a cooking school? Absolutely. And that lasted for a good 2 years. Once I sold the business, I sold it to a chef, and she said to me, I don't know how to do this marketing thing. And I realized then there was a niche for me to help out food businesses with their marketing, because my background prior to opening the cooking school was in marketing. From there, I then went and did my own agency called the Dirty Apron, which I specialized in social media and helping people, I guess, have a digital storefront for themselves. I think it was then that I engaged with you, Jane, to come up and do a couple of workshops up in Cairns, which was fantastic. And understanding the regulatory side of things, which was a foreign concept to me back then when you first came into my world. From there, I helped co-found Far North Queensland's first and only food incubator. So we actually have a manufacturing facility, and I was able to work in with our Department of Agriculture and Fisheries and one of our local chefs who also created Fang's chili sauce, and we created a purpose-built facility that people could come and not only test their products, but they could actually get them marketed, etc. So that's how I was introduced to a lot of our local food producers, helping to get value-added products out on the shelf.
Yeah, and that was a great service. The Far North Queensland Food Incubator filled that gap in the market that actually, most people have a problem with manufacturing and getting to the next level and understanding, the business side, but also the regulatory side and the food safety side of, getting a new product to market. So that was an amazing initiative, and it probably still is to some extent, but I realize that it's changed a little. So once you've decided that that's your target market and you would like to, work more with the food industry, what have you done since then? Have you moved fully into the marketing, back into the marketing side?
Definitely. I myself also have a food business, so I actually have grazing platter business. So for me to know both sides of the fence has been really, really helpful with understanding how to reach my target audience. What's the best social media platform to use? Do I need a website? What's my brand look like? So I've come full circle. I'm helping myself in my own food business.
Of course.
But that's what I really enjoy, is being able to think outside the square, I guess, with certain people. And there's people that I've worked with on a regular basis that have said, I've never thought of that before. And I said, but that's why I'm here, is because not only am I sometimes in a totally different location, like working with people in Darwin or over in Tasmania or wherever they might be located, is bringing that different, fresh perspective to people. So, and that's what I enjoy the most, is being able to throw something out on the table and go, let's brainstorm it. If it was packaged differently, if it was marketed differently, if it was an exported product, what would it look like?
Yes.
And that's what excites me so much about working with foodies.
So marketing in all its facets, and you know, we know that it touches every single point throughout that food business journey, which is how I see my clients asking exactly the same questions as you've just said. So you've got some great ideas about how people can manage that marketing, especially in this changed food business world, but also coming up to Christmas. Is that correct?
That's right. I think that this is going to be a very different Christmas for us being in. I know we haven't come fully out of the pandemic. It's going to be slightly different to last year's Christmas where most of us were still in lockdown. But I think there's a couple of things that we can navigate in order to make sure that we've got a successful sales this Christmas moving forward. And I don't believe we've left it too late. We are in the middle of November, but I don't believe we've left it too late to activate some of the tips that I've put together for people.
So ideally, without the stress, we would have started this, in October?
September, maybe?
Okay, fine. So let's get to it so we can, have people make the most of Christmas this year, yeah?
Fantastic. So I do have a bit of a presentation that I'm going to run through, and hopefully we'll be able to make this available to people afterwards if they'd like a copy.
Fantastic.
We'll run through and we'll just back and forth, Jane, and you can ask me questions as we go along. So obviously I've done it very festive and Christmassy, but I've got my top 20 tips that I'd like to run through with people. So first and foremost, I would like everyone to devise a detailed Christmas plan. I'm not saying that you need to have 20 pages worth of a Word document. If you want to do post-it notes, go ahead. That's totally fine with me, but I want you to be prepared with what you want to do. So do you know what products you're offering in a Christmas bundle or in a gift pack? Do you know how much money you're actually spending on that Christmas advertising? Have it a bit conceptualized so you understand then that that you've got something to stick to and it's realistic more than anything. So I'm going to make you guys be prepared and put it in writing if you can, please.
Fantastic. How do you think they would put that in writing, Rachel? Do you think it's just a template social media marketing thing?
So I would do a marketing style template. It only needs to be a big picture style template. And I would probably do it on an A4 page, just detailing what are my products am I selling? What price point are they at? How am I getting this out to customers? What is my marketing around those particular products? So for example, do I need to do a photo Christmas shoot with them under a Christmas tree? Do I need to express that I'm offering gift wrapping or that I'm offering free delivery or whatever it might be? So just detailing that down so that not only not just so that you know, but if you have staff that you can actually pass it on to your staff members and they understand it as well.
Great, thank you.
So my second point is adding Christmas flair to your branding. Now you don't have to go over the top, but we want people to know that for those of you that may not be the most consistent on social media, that yes, there is Christmas and it's here and that you're participating this year. A lot of people find when it comes into Christmas time that when it comes to social media, it's too much, they're doing too much else, but that then means to your customers that potentially are just scrolling through Facebook for the first time and coming across you, if you haven't posted since say October and you haven't updated to say that you've got Christmas sales or a Christmas package or whatever it might be, they might just scroll straight past you because they don't believe that you're participating in Christmas this year. So if you can update your branding, whether it's your email signature on your email sending out, or whether it's on your updated EDM, or whether it's on your Facebook or Instagram page or on your website itself, let people know that you're actually here and you're about for Christmas. I think that's really important.
It is.
The next one that I've got is virtual gift shopping. Now, this is something that people may not know about, but I think that there's still a lot of people that are very hesitant to actually get out of their comfort zone and get out of their houses still this year. And we have to be, I guess, sensitive to those people as well. So if there is a way that you can do a virtual shop, whether it's either inviting people one-on-one to do a FaceTime call, if you've got a bricks and mortar store to actually do a video call around the shop and actually point out certain, items that they might want to purchase, or bundle gift package together. Or it's actually filming your products, in a row, literally what you've got bundled up or in a gift pack that you can then post onto your Instagram or your Facebook stories, or pin to the top of your Facebook page. That's another way of people actually shopping without actually physically having to come to your store. So I think that's important too.
Your own advertisement.
Absolutely, yes. And there's nothing better than actually, it's like doing a 3D tour of a real estate property. People love to look at all the little nooks and crannies, and there might be things that in a virtual shop that you may not have thought that people would be interested in buying, but they might put it on video and go, hey, I'd like 1 of or 10 of those. Fantastic. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, good point.
Alrighty. So this is one of my favorites, creating a memorable unboxing experience. Now, I don't know whether everyone understands how relevant this is in COVID times, I guess. It's becoming a goldmine for content creators and marketing people like myself. We are encouraging our customers to post their brand experiences of actually opening the box. So everything counts, from the shipping box to what's inside the shipping box, to then the box that you're actually, what I'm calling the secondary packaging box, to the ribbon that you're using, to the tissue paper, to the little postcard that you use, to the little thank you message. Everything comes back to then how that represents your brand. And if it's such a memorable experience, not only are they going to post it on social media, but they're going to be talking about you to their friends. So that to me is free publicity. And I think that it's the most important thing that you can get right is the box that it's actually sent in. So don't think that it's all just about the actual product itself. It also is about the box that it comes in.
Yeah, I think some of us that have been shopping online while we can't visit the retailers have actually found that, that experience of opening a box, even though we know what's in it because we've ordered it, creates a bit of excitement. So I had a box delivered, and it was some really interesting products that I hadn't tried before because, foodie, I want all the newest, latest and greatest.
Yes.
And just opening that lid and seeing that, yes, it's a gorgeous, sturdy box. It's got lovely packaging inside, and the unwrapping experience has actually been a bit of a present, even without an occasion.
Absolutely. And the thing that I love the most, there was a couple of different items that I bought, not necessarily food, but when someone actually writes a handwritten note to say, Rachel, I love the color that you've chosen. I think that this will work perfect for your event, or whatever it might be. I think that personalized note can be key to actually winning your customer over, because it shows that you've been thoughtful enough to actually want to write a handwritten note as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you've got 500 packages going out tomorrow that all of them have to have a handwritten note. For those that are maybe over a $200 mark, maybe a handwritten note might be nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So make the most of your email list. Now, this is something that I don't know whether a lot of people are utilizing this time of year, and it might be something that people are not even thinking about. But I don't know whether you remember, I think it was a month ago, and Facebook went down for 2 days.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened 2 days prior to Christmas, or 2 days to the end of people buying for Christmas? It means that it's taken away your customer from Instagram and Facebook, and you've got nothing else to rely on except for your email list. So I will mention this later on as well in the presentation, but that's why it's important to engage with your customers, but to get their contact details off that social media platform and onto an email list that you own, so that you can email them when you want to.
Yeah.
And
I think you can do it the other way around as well, can't you, Rachel?
Absolutely, yes. So by using your email list and actually importing it into your back of house of your Facebook, you can actually then target, if you're actually wanting to do boosted ads or advertising full stop. It will actually, you can do a lookalike audience so that your email list exists and you can advertise to them directly, and to a lookalike audience, which would be an audience that have the same interests as that email list. So you'll be picking up new customers as well.
Yeah, very nice.
turning on your email automation. So this is, I guess, an extension of the previous point here, but it can actually boost your revenue by re-engaging with customers that maybe you haven't had purchased from you in a long time, or encouraging customers who have abandoned their cart to complete their purchase. I don't know whether you've had that, Jane, where you've been busy or you've gone to make a cup of tea or something and you're in the middle of purchasing something, and an hour later it comes back and says, Jane, you didn't buy that box of biscuits that you had in your cart. And you're like, oh, more not times than not, you will get that will go, oh, that's right, let me buy that, because we've got busy lives. So abandoning cart is one way of definitely recalling that customer.
I've actually just had that exact same scenario, because I order seafood online because some of the wholesale producers are delivering direct to consumer, and I'd gone through the whole process. I'd gone, oh yeah, I'm going to have that fish and that fish, I'm going to get some prawns, and then I went, oh, hang on, I can't actually take delivery for the next 3 days, so that's going to be a bit of a problem with fresh fish. And so I've abandoned the cart, and I've immediately got like 3 emails going, can we help you finish that? You know, call us if there's a problem, you know, that kind of thing.
I mean, I think 3 emails is a little bit excessive, but at least you're top of mind to them, which I think is really important.
Yes.
You just don't want to lose those kind of people.
That's it.
And that brings me to my next point about making sure that your website is optimized for mobile. Whilst I'm someone that sits at my computer all day and I'm always on websites, you know, on a screen, it's important to make sure that you can actually access your website via a mobile or tablet, so to speak. It's surprising that in 2021, 54% of total e-commerce sales actually take place on a mobile. That's half of your customers. So if you can't access a website properly, I know there's nothing more frustrating when I'm scrolling and I go onto a website on my mobile and go, can't see it, it's too small, or it's not optimized. I'm out. You've lost me as a customer. So I think that that's one of the really important things to make sure that you get right. Also, when it comes to your website, is making sure that all of the points are correct. So, for example, automated shipping and logistics on your website, making sure that, yes, you can purchase, but that your shipping is correct and it's the right pricing, for example. And we will talk about it a little bit later, but then advertising, when's your cutoff dates on your website for actually purchasing as well. So I think that's really important about making sure you've got your website optimized. For those of you that don't have a website or run most of your things through social media, let's see if we can, you know, reward our social media fans. They're probably some of your most engaged customers and your best brand ambassadors. So I think it's really important to be able to thank them by giving them exclusive offers that are just on social media, and they will continue to be those brand ambassadors for you. So whether it's a digital coupon or whether it's a code when they're checking out through your website, or something that they can print off at home, but it's promoted exclusively through social media, I think that that is another unique way of getting sales that you might potentially not have had in the past.
Nice. And you can have different rewards for different social media audiences, right? Because often, as you and I have just spoken about, you've attracted different people from your Instagram and your Facebook. Yes? No?
Yes. Sorry. We just had a rescue helicopter go over, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe Santa coming early with all of my goodies that I've ordered online.
I'll cross my fingers for you.
Yes, definitely, Jane. Making sure that coupon code relates to different social media platforms will actually give you an indication when you're going to look at your reporting at the end of the month, because we all look at our reporting at the end of the month.
Of course.
Of being able to tell where your customers have come from and who actually took that offer up on that particular social media platform, so that when you do run a promotion again, whether it's Valentine's Day or Easter or Australia Day, you then know that that's the platform of choice to run that kind of promotion. So that's really important as well.
Nice.
I'm also going to talk about advertising your opening hours. Now, I don't mean for those people that have a bricks and mortar store just by hanging a sign out the front. There are so many places that you can actually advertise your opening hours and make the most of this so that, for example, when I mentioned earlier about being on social media, you can update your Facebook cover. You can update your Google listing. You can update your website. You can send out an EDM with when are your opening hours, or when are your cut-off times for shipping, or whether it might be a special offer that ends at a certain time. You can send out an SMS. Could be a catalogue, point of sale that you're actually delivering in with you're doing a little thank you card if you're thinking that they're going to shop again with you. So don't discount the fact that by putting in a little flyer or a little message with certain goods to advertise your opening hours, you might actually, gain some traction in customers that way as well.
Yeah. I think the most frustrating thing I've seen is when we're out and about in different suburbs and we're looking for just a simple thing like a cafe for lunch, especially, in weird times. But and then Google tells me it's open. I make the trip to that place and it's not.
It's not.
Right. So frustrating.
Exactly right. And I think that now more than ever, because people are checking on socials or on websites before they're going, is making sure that that's correct so that it saves your customer that trip, because you don't want an irate customer at the other end saying,
yeah. Or lose them to the cafe up the road because you weren't open when you said you were.
Exactly right. Yes. Which brings us to offering curbside delivery. Now, this is something a little different for pandemic times, I guess. There's still a few people that really don't want to get out of the house. So could your point of difference this year be, if you are offering, a certain product within your local area, are you able to hand deliver it to people and have it, a curbside delivery? It might be something that you need to test the waters with your customers. Not everyone needs this offering, but for those people that, whether it's Christmas puddings that you're making or certain jams and chutneys or, freshly baked goods, offering that delivery, people are willing to pay. I know, for example, with my platter business, I have to offer delivery because, whilst I have a kitchen that I'm working from, I'm not always there. But to get that extra $10 for a delivery, not only are you making that money that you can either outsource to a son or daughter that's hanging around the house and getting them to do it, but it's also something that's really appreciated by your customer at the end.
Yeah.
And in saying that, working alongside another small business could be a really good
big one
for you. Yes. So I'm not saying that you have to work with your competitor, but let's say there's someone that has a similar product to yourself that could work in very nicely together. So I know I'm talking Christmas here, but like say you've got Christmas puddings and you've got a lovely, dairy offering of, a different brandy custard or whatever, that's a different company. Have you guys thought about working in together to get that product out together? Not only then are you widening your circle, but you can actually put a package together and actually widen your audience altogether. So it's a complementary product to your own. And I think that
we've seen this happen a lot in the kitchen actually. At one stage we had a gluten-free scone producer, a jam producer kind of join forces and make the use of each other's retailers and logistics kind of operations, which was really nice.
Yeah. And I think that you could go even further than that. I think that maybe we might have left it a little late for this year, but in future for maybe Easter or whether it's Valentine's Day, are there people that you can work in with to put a hamper together? So like I said with the scones and the jam, but when it comes to Valentine's Day, is there a local florist? Is there someone that does chocolates? And then is there someone that does, chocolate dipped strawberries, whatever it might be?
Yeah.
Then put a hamper together that you can all win, so to speak.
Nice.
And in saying hampers, let's go on to gift wrapping. A lot of people are time poor. They want things delivered and they want them gift wrapped already. Now, I don't expect you to offer that service for free, but I think that if you offer an alternative of upgrading to a gift wrapping service and then maybe with a little card, you can actually offer that service for an extra $5 and, it's not going to cost you $5 to do it, but your customer at the end will make, it will win them over. Because at Christmas time, gifts make up 53% of total spending altogether. So if it's a gift, let's gift wrap it.
Yeah, exactly. Saves you writing a Christmas card as well.
Exactly right. Selling Christmas gift cards. Now, there's going to always be those customers that say, oh, I don't know whether they're going to like that particular product or whatever. Can we convert them into buying something by selling a gift card? Now, you don't have to have a gift card that has a long expiry date for 12 months. You can have it just for January that they have to then purchase that product with that gift card. It might, yeah, you can have a limited time for it to actually be used, that it's not a long-term thing. And I would actually specify then on your gift card that it's not exchangeable for cash. A lot of people think that they can actually swap that for cash. But that's a good alternative if you can't win anyone over by getting your product sold, is to sell them a gift card.
Yeah. Cool.
Creating a cutoff date for last purchases and flexible delivery. So this year more than ever, I know that we used to say like 2 weeks prior to Christmas was the last day for purchases that could be shipped, whether it's intrastate or interstate. However, this year we are a lot slower than previous years. If you have a look on the Australia Post website, actually we'll post it onto the Business of Food and page, the actual shipping cutoff dates.
Oh, yeah.
They're a lot earlier this year than most people would expect. But,
gosh.
Yeah, so I would be really thinking about that. So that's why then your interstate deliveries will cut off at a certain date, but then your local deliveries, you've got to work out what you want to do, whether they are hand delivered. But are there flexible options that you can offer? So we can do parcel lockers. You can get them dropped off at the post office or PO box drop-offs. So thinking outside of the square as to how things can be delivered and how they can be collected as well. So flexible delivery. This might seem like a really obvious one, but I don't know whether everyone takes it on board. You already know what your most popular product is. So make sure that you've either got double or triple the amount when it comes into Christmas. I would, especially for those, you know, people that it takes a while for that, maybe they've got a longer process to produce their product, making sure if it's got a longer shelf life and it's not going to go off, make sure that you do a double run or a triple run before Christmas. Because
sorry, Rachel, I'm just going to pause it for a second.
Your products already gift wrapped or under a Christmas tree, so people actually understand that, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, the issue you're raising, if they don't understand the fact that they don't get special discounts, that they're on the back foot. They need to understand that.
I think this is going to work. Okay, so do social media posts.
Yes. Now, I have mentioned this earlier in the presentation, but again, it's making sure that people understand that, yes, you are open for Christmas. It seems pretty obvious, but we want to make sure that your Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, website, whatever it might be, is up to date and people know you're ready to sell. We also want to induce a sense of urgency. Now, for those people that don't realise that we're in a pandemic, there's a lot of posts out there at the moment that are talking about people not being able to get products from overseas markets. That's actually going to impact on us as local producers, because when they can no longer get those products from overseas, where do you think they're going to turn to? As much as we want them to be purchasing from us first and foremost, when they can't get anything and those shelves are stripped bare, imagine that the urgency that's going to come through the week prior to Christmas with people wanting to get products. So keeping that in mind, so that's why we want to keep our most popular products stocked.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that have the luxury of being able to ignore some of the changes that are going on around them, and that's, you know, people that are, you know, in smaller towns or in smaller states, and it hasn't quite had the impact that it has in the big cities and the larger places.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my second to last point is offer free shipping. Now, not everybody can do this, but it might encourage customers to purchase slightly more on your online store because they know that when they reach that $150 mark, they're going to get free shipping. I know for me that I'm like, oh, just chuck something else in the cart because it actually makes no sense because
Yeah.
other thing in the cart, I didn't really want it, but I've got free shipping. So you've actually paid technically for the shipping anyway. But
Yes.
it's that whole psychological thing of I'm getting something for free. So I'm not talking about offering for a $6.95 jar of whatever it might be, free shipping. I'm talking about having a certain cutoff point where you say over $100 or over $150, customers will get free shipping. I think that's important too.
Yeah, it's a great way to get them to create that sense of urgency as your point of difference.
Absolutely. And last but not least, a lot of people are going to say, well, Christmas is done. We're done. Christmas 25th. No, let's not forget after Christmas. And I know that you're all just hating me right now for saying this. There's that period between Boxing Day and New Year where people, especially this year, are going to be sitting around with family if they can get to their families. They're relaxed, they're well fed, they're festive, and they're still ready to shop, and they've probably got a lot of excess dollars. So what are you offering to those people online that can continue those sales coming through when people actually have the time to buy? We want them to think, well, Santa didn't get that for me, I'm going to go and buy it myself. So I think that that's really important as well, to move that last minute product that you may not have had moving prior to Christmas that you can move after Christmas.
That's a really good point, Rachel, because I think a lot of people have the special days in mind, like you said, Australia Day or Valentine's Day, but that week after Christmas, I think everyone will be on social media because we'll all be on holidays and just looking for a way to relax.
Absolutely, definitely. And I think that's the key time, is that when people are so relaxed, they're still spending money, let's make use of it.
Exactly. There's some great tips there and you know, some reminders that I probably should be doing a little bit more of by myself, but thank you for putting all of that together. When I saw the top 20 tips, I went, oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure that I haven't been doing, you know, half of 20 tips, but they all kind of make sense and they all fit together. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Hopefully it will mean that it'll be a very Merry Christmas for everybody if we can follow some of those.
Exactly. And afterwards, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the plan for the Dirty Apron in the new year? Because I think you've got some, I know you're doing the platters and the consulting side by side. Are you going to keep that going?
There's some very exciting things happening in the new year, Jane, which I have to keep hush hush for the moment, but
Nice.
people can stay tuned because there is some online resources that I'll be rolling out with a couple of different people. So stay tuned.
So if people want to get in touch with you, we're going to send out some of this information, the top tips, and I know that you've got a whole heap of, you know, extra information under each of those topics, which is amazing. But if they want to get in touch with you, can they?
Absolutely. The best way is either on Facebook or Instagram.
Yes.
Whilst I myself will then probably use the Christmas period to update my website. Downtime.
Nice.
Yes, but no, definitely look me up on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm happy to help answer any questions that anyone might have.
Thanks, Rachel.
Okay.
And thanks for coming along and sharing your knowledge with us. That's great.
Thanks, Jane.
You and I will probably be working together on a bit more information and a couple